There have been a lot of mysterious and interesting characters, but the ones who I think are the most interesting are the members of Gorosei, also known as the Five Elder Stars. Despite first appearing in Chapter 233 back in June 10, 2002, we still know very little about them. Even their names are unknown to us. How strong are they, and what are their powers? This is the topic I will talk about today, but before starting, I want to ask you all to like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. I hope all of you have a great day, and let's start the video. Well, the Five Elders, also known as Gorosei, are those who apparently sit at the top of the hierarchy of the nobles in One Piece. Given that they are the leaders of basically everything, they possess tremendous power and hold almost everything in the palm of their hands. Their influence over the world government and its military is paramount and limitless, including command over the Marines, Cypher Paul, and even the 7 Warlords of the Sea prior to their abolishment, making them one of the main antagonistic groups of the series. The Five Elders are basically the rulers of the entire world, with tremendous political power superior to their fellow world nobles, second only to Im. They have complete control over world government's affiliated organizations such as police, 10 units of Cypher Pole, and even entirety of a marine organization. Even the orders of the Fleet Admiral of the Marines can be vetoed by their decisions, as it was shown when Gorosei opposed Sengoku's decision who wanted Aokiji to become his successor. While Gorosei wanted Akainu to take this position, which ended up duel between 2 admirals and the winner became the new Fleet Admiral. They also have the ability to declare a buster call attack on any island that they deem a threat and can pass that authority onto lower world government ranking agents. They can revoke a Warlord of the Sea title if they decide that he or she is not living up to their duties as a warlord. But despite all of these political powers, a lot of people still doubt their prowess and might. A lot of people think that the only power the Five Elders possess is just a political influence and power. They are like Spandam, who was the leader of CP9. Each member of Cypher Pole was much stronger than Spandam. They did not obey Spandam because they were manipulated by his wits, but because they were assigned to by an even greater power, the world government itself. They worked with Spandam, not due to respect for him, but because they feared the world government. Now, in Gorosei's case, there is no greater power than them the people know of. We know that Im is above them. However, Im's existence is kept a secret within the government and the rest of the world. So, all of the authority of the Gorosei have to be backed up by themselves. So if the Five Elders were just a fodder characters like Spandam, the Marines could easily take over WG or simply refuse orders from the WG. But we have seen from both Sengoku and Sakazuki that the Gorosei easily acts above them in decision-making. Next, we notice how calm the Gorosei are at Sakazuki's insolence. Normally, people would be scared, very scared, like Kobe at an angry Akainu. But the Five Elders simply shrugged it off, mocking him and treating him like a tempered child. Weaklings don't show this confidence. The main goal of the Gorosei is to maintain order and stability. The system makes sense in some way. To unite the people and various kingdoms together, there needs to be a reason. Peace, trade, and co-prosperity would seem like great reason, but the history has shown us that this isn't the case. The only reason for unity is for protection against enemies. That's where pirates come in. The pirates, embodied by their strongest members, the Yonkos, represent an inherent danger to the everyday citizens of the world government. The courageous Marines then come in and protect the people from pirates from time to time, giving them a reason to join the world government. In return, the country accepts the world government and pays tax like a regular real-world province would back then. Whitebeard's Island is a perfect example of what happens to the country if it does not join the world government. It seems this system is pretty effective in its objective, considering it kept up for 800 years. The Five Elders don't care about the Marines. They don't care about the livelihoods of their citizens. They don't even care much about the Yonkos. The only time they felt threatened were when world order itself was threatened. We have witnessed 2 such instances. First was Ohara incident. We all remember what happened in Ohara. The Five Elders clearly felt threatened about what would happen if the people knew about the Void Century. Perhaps that knowledge would lead people to question the authority of the world government itself and led to thoughts of mass revolution. I think the connection to the Void Century could be the reason of Wano's isolation. Wano was originally portrayed as a very powerful nation capable of holding off even the world government. However, we later find out that it was conquered by one pirate crew. Also, beside that, the world government was actually heavily involved in controlling Wano, as we witnessed CPO dealing with Orochi. The real reason is that Wano is very well connected to the Void Century and poneglyph reading. They are the ones who created it in the first place, and the Gorosei are afraid of the consequences of that information spreading out. The second time when we saw the five elders worried was during the Reverie arc. Im, the real ruler of the world, was seen frustrated at the images of Luffy, Vivi, Poseidon, and Blackbeard. Luffy, Vivi, and Poseidon are connected with prophecies connected to the Void Century, so it's easy to see why Im would be distressed about that. Blackbeard could be connected to prophecies as well, since he is the other unique pirate in the series other than Luffy. We could not see Yonkos or revolutionaries who directly oppose the world government anywhere on their posters. That's because the world government doesn't really care about them. After all, they are mere flies to them in a snapshot of time compared to the 800 years that Im and Gorosei have lived through. Although powerful, they do not hold the ability to change the world on the level of Luffy, Blackbeard, Vivi, and Poseidon. Also, when we look at them, we can see clear muscles and scars, and that one of them is wielding a sword. This alone should be enough to think that they have battle experience and fighting capabilities. One of the most interesting member of the Five Elders, in my opinion, is the bald one with glasses and white gi. He holds a samurai sword with him. He is the only one of the five to not wear a black suit or tie, and the only one without facial hair. He is always seen with his sword, which I assume is one of the strongest sword in One Piece. I think it's not far-fetched to assume that he will be the final enemy of Zoro instead of Mihawk. Also, in Robin's flashback, it appears that their appearances haven't been altered, at least despite it taking place 22 years ago. We have seen how age works in One Piece. For example, let's compare Monkey D. Garp 20 years ago and now, or Whitebeard then and now. We can see how much they really changed during all these years. Almost every character seems to change their appearance as time goes on. Every character except the Five Elders, who practically look the same. You could argue that the reason of their appearance staying the same could be the fact that old characters generally does not change much as time goes on. Since, like them, Dr. Kureha, who was 117 years old during the Rogers execution, looked almost the same as now. However, there is an exception in Five Elders. One of them, the blonde one, seems to be much younger than other elders. However, he looked exactly the same during Ohara incident as he looks right now, which makes me think that the members of Five Elders have the ability of some kind of immortality or prolonging their lifetime. It makes a lot of people, including me, think that they have been alive since the Void Century and have been controlling the world government ever since its formation. Their scars could have been from that period of time when they were fighting the Great Kingdom. I think there's a possibility that the Five Elders managed to prolong their life thanks to Jewelry Bonnie's Devil Fruit, which allows her to manipulate the aging process, allowing her to freely make herself and others older or younger. Because of her interaction with Akainu, we know that Bonnie had some kind of connection with world government, who we can assume used her to prolong Five Elders' life. However, Chapter 1037 made me little skeptical about this theory because of Blonde Gorosei. The way he questions world government's decisions, despite him being one of the ultimate leader of the world government, makes me think that they haven't been in that position ever since his creation, and it seems they had predecessors. We still don't know what are the circumstances to become one of the Five Elder. We don't even know their names. I think the reason why Oda hasn't revealed their names yet is that I think their names will reveal very important things about their identities, which he does not want to reveal yet. Who knows? The Five Elders could have the initial of D in their names, which would turn everything upside down and would change our viewpoints on them. I expect a lot from them, and hope we will see them into action soon. They've been in story almost for 20 years and we still know nothing about them, which makes them very interesting characters to me. I am pretty sure that they are very strong. I assume that they have mastered their haki at maximum possible level and expect them to be the final enemies of the revolutionaries. Monkey D. Dragon is direct enemy of them, and I think it's his goal to dethrone the Five Elders, and I think this is the battle when we will finally see the power of Monkey D. Dragon and Five Elders. However, I don't think that we will see this clash until the end of the series, so we have to wait several years before it. But who knows? Oda is very unpredictable, and we may see them into action much sooner than we anticipated. Anyway, I guess this is all for today. What do you think about the Five Elders in One Piece? How strong are they? Let me know in the comments. Like this video and subscribe to this channel for more. Astro D Jack out. Bye.